So I think that if we were to ask the majority of people what you want out of life, I think that we could agree that the majority of people would say, I want to be happy. I want to find happiness. Now, I believe that that's a very confusing question. I believe the concept of happiness is confused. It's not understood, right? It's hard to understand what makes us happiness, or what brings us happiness, and what brings us fulfillment. So, I want to read you guys this from The One Thing. This is a little story, real cool story I read earlier today, called The Begging Bowl. And here it goes. Upon coming out of his palace one morning and encountering a beggar, a king asks, "What do you want?" The beggar laughingly says, "You ask as though you can fulfill my desire." Offended, the king replies, "Of course I can." "What is it?" The beggar warns, "Think twice before you promise anything." Now the beggar was no ordinary beggar, but the king's past life master, who had promised in their former life, "I will come to try and wake you in our next life. This life you have missed, but I will come again to help you." The king, now recognizing his old friend, insisted, "I will fulfill anything you ask, for I am a very powerful king who can fulfill any desire." The beggar said, "It is a very simple desire. Can you fill this begging bowl?" "Of course," said the king, and he instructed his vizier to fill the man's begging bowl with money. The vizier did, but when the money was poured into the bowl, it disappeared, so he poured more and more, but the moment he did, it would just disappear. So I have a little illustration here of the begging bowl. The begging bowl remained empty. Word spread throughout the kingdom, and a huge crowd gathered. The prestige and power of the king were at stake. So he told his vizier, "If my kingdom is to be lost, I am ready to lose it, but I cannot be defeated by this beggar." He continued to empty his wealth into the bowl. Diamonds, pearls, emeralds. His treasury was becoming empty, and yet the begging bowl seemed bottomless. Everything put into it immediately disappeared. Finally, as the crowd stood in utter silence, the king dropped at the beggar's feet and admitted defeat. "You are victorious, but before you go, fulfill my curiosity. What is the secret of this begging bowl?" The beggar humbly replied, "There is no secret, my king. It is simply made up of human desire." So, this begging bowl, made up of human desire. And this beggar was the king's master in the past life. He said that he would come back in this life to help him because he missed it in the last life. So he was going to show him the right way. And he said, "Be careful what you ask, king. Be careful what you ask." And he said, "I can fulfill it. It's no problem. I got all the money. I got all the jewels. I got all the emeralds, all the gold." So he told his vizier, "Fill it up. Fill up the man's bowl." And the beggar's bowl was there. The vizier tried filling it up with money, and it was bottomless. Okay, and the king kept telling me, he said, "I have to fill this up. There's a way I can fill this up." But the beggar's bowl would not fill up. And you see that the beggar's bowl was showing the king human desire. Okay, this human desire cannot be quenched. Okay, the thirst cannot be quenched. This human desire is this beggar's bowl. Now, I asked in the beginning, what makes, if you ask someone what they want out of life, it is to be happy. is to find happiness and fulfillment. To find happiness and fulfillment. And a lot of times, I think we can also agree that money is the main thing that people think would make them happy. Okay. Now, I don't want to use fulfillment and happiness as the same word, because I believe that once you find fulfillment, once you find a purpose, then happiness stems from that. So, yeah, let's not put those two together. But money, people believe happiness stems from money, correct? And in many cases this is true. But as we all know, that once we get a certain something, once we get that new car, that new toy, that new present we've been wanting, that new girl, that initial period we have, that dopamine release, that honeymoon stage happens. But then we grow tired, we grow bored, we look for more stimulus, we look for something new. And the same thing with money, guys. Same thing with money. You've heard it. Celebrities turn into drugs. But once you get the money, then what? Okay, so happiness can come from money. But if that's what you're just chasing all the time, and then once you get it, that stimulus dies, that happiness, it wears off. Okay, it's not as strong. So, I like to say that happiness comes from fulfillment. And I want you guys, don't disagree with me. What do you think here? I believe that when you have fulfillment, happiness stems. Now I want to take you to yesterday, my day yesterday. I was sitting at work, and one of the workers came up to me. He said, "Elijah, how you doing, man?" I said, "Excellent, excellent. I just got done recording a video. I just got done reading. Feeling great, man. Feeling real good." And he said, "That's good, man. That's good." Well, I said, "How about you? How are you doing?" He said, "Just watching my life pass by, one day at a time. Very, very negative. Came out very negative, very pessimistic." And I was just like, man. I asked him, right? I was like, "Well, why is that? Well, why are you just watching your life go by one day at a time?" And he's getting ready to have a kid. You know, he makes good money. He's got, he's got a decent life. It seems, from the outside, it seems like he's living a decent life. And I said, well, why are you just watching your day pass by, one day at a time, just slip by? And he said, I don't know. I said, well, let's look at it. And in this book, this Dr. Martin Seligman, psychologist, he says, believes there are 5 factors that contribute to our happiness. All right, listen carefully. He says, positive emotion and pleasure, achievement, relationships, engagement, and meaning. Okay, now, you don't have to remember all those. Tai Lopez also has another way that he puts these, and he calls them the 4 pillars. So, I'm going to use this. Alright, Tai Lopez, the 4 pillars. Alright, guys. Tai Lopez says that we can all agree, this Dr. Martin says that he believes that the good life, what everyone wants, okay, what everyone wants is health, wealth, love, and fulfillment. Health, wealth, love, and fulfillment. Now, if we can get all of these right, if we can get all of these right, you know, the last one's a bit tricky. I want to call it either fulfillment. Tai Lopez calls it happiness. He says he would wish it was called, he called it fulfillment at first. I'm going to say meaning. Let's take Dr. Martin, meaning. So health, wealth, love, and meaning. Okay? Now, so I asked this man at work, I said, okay, well let's judge it like this. Let's measure it like this while you're looking at every day slip by. And I said, let's agree that we both want in this life health, wealth, love, and happiness. He said, okay, I agree, that's what I want. I said, well, where are you on the health? Okay, where are you right here? And he said, you know, Elisha, I work out. I work out. I take care of myself. I know the guy. He works out. He's not very dedicated. He eats decent, not the best. And he smokes. He drinks often. So, not the best health. Okay? So, this meter, let's put it right here. I asked him, how's your wealth? He said, yeah, you know, I make about 100K a year, even a little more. I said, okay, well, and we know that scientifically, studies have shown that anything under 70K a year is scarcity. All right, we're in a scarce mindset where we have to micromanage money, bills. You know, we have worry. There's going to be a lot more cortisol, a lot more stress when we make under 70K a year. 108K a year, you're living in financial independence. I believe, I might be wrong, after that you get into the millions, that's wealth and then prosperity. So he was making 100K, his wealth, let's leave there, anything over 70K. Now I asked him, how's his love? And he said, yeah, it's okay. He's getting ready to have a kid. You know, I've seen how they act. I'm gonna put love maybe 3/4 of the way. You could just tell he didn't have that passion in his relationship. So let's put love here. And then right here we're gonna put meaning. Okay? Now, when I asked him meaning, he took the longest to answer to. And his answer was, well, I don't really know. And he had a few things. He said, you know, live good and help people. But he was very uncertain, very unsure in his own life. I said, well, how do you feel? Do you have fulfillment doing what you're doing, living the current life that you're living? And he said, no. Okay, so let's just get rid of this pillar. And now we're left, we'll put it where it's a little stub. It's just a little stub. Meaning. So, if we have health at about half, if we have wealth doing pretty good, we have love at 3/4, and we have very little meaning, well then, of course, you can have all the money in the world, but when this is down here, you can't buy meaning. You see, you can't buy purpose. You can't buy health. You can take stuff to maybe help you get healthy. Alright, but you can't just buy health. You can't buy love. You see? And vice versa. I mean, meaning can't just get you money. Love, health can't just get you money. Love, it takes effort, it takes work, right? There's all these intangibles, these things. But you see what I'm saying? If these are lacking, let's ask yourself rate your own life. Health, wealth, love, happiness, fulfillment, meaning. Where do you rank? How high do your 4 pillars stack up? And which one's the lowest? Which one needs the most work? I've done this myself. My health, okay? I consider myself healthy and getting better. I'm going to say I'm 3/4. My wealth is down, okay? My wealth is down. That's my probably lowest pillar. My love is fine with my family, with my friends, in relationships. My love is good, and my meaning is, I'm going to say, I feel like I've recently figured this out. So I'm going to say 3/4. Okay? 3/4 meaning love, health, and then my wealth is down here. Okay, so my fulfillment factor is not complete. The man at work's fulfillment factor was low because he was missing the only way, guys, that we are going to be happy, that happiness is found, is when we can bring these pillars up. The majority of us can agree on this, that we all want health, wealth, love, and happiness. Alright, so I'm going to move on, and then I'm going to actually come back to the 4 pillars. Now, like I said, I've done a few talks now. Studying success, the people who are at the top share. They are sharing. The people that are giving advice say that it takes generosity, okay? And it takes receiving this generosity, okay? It takes this networking, this help from others, and this building people up. And I want you guys to dive into this, think about this, lay in your bed, go to sleep on this. Think about it, to share. And you may ask yourself, well, what do I have to share? Okay, I ask myself this, what do I have to share? Now, back to the 4 pillars. If a woman has health, wealth, love, and happiness, okay? If they have all those built up, we can consider, let's say that that person is awesome, okay? It takes an awesome person to get each of those at a really high level, okay? Because there's not a lot of people living with fulfillment, living with optimum health, living with a great love. They're great at relationships. They know their fitness stuff. They know nutrition. They know everything about it. There's not a lot of people living with a lot of wealth and a lot of money. Okay, the majority of us are down here. So an awesome person has those 4. And fulfillment, man, when you can get all 4, I'm gonna call you awesome. I'm gonna see you. I'm gonna see the way you carry yourself walking down the street. I'm going to be like, that dude's awesome. Look at that. Okay? Maybe that's shallow to you, but I want those things in my life. I consider that to be pretty awesome. Now, back to sharing. Okay? Sharing. What do you have to share? What do you have to share? So what are we sharing? Now, back, let's consider an awesome person. An awesome person has those 4 qualities. An awesome person is well-rounded, okay? They have skills. They are able to be good with people. They are able to make things happen. They are a leader. They are efficient with their time. They know how to communicate, right? They have means to make things happen, to influence their environment. That is an awesome person. An awesome person can share. Okay? An awesome person shares with other people. The world wants to receive from awesome people. Now, understand what I'm saying. If you're sitting in your basement, would you consider someone sitting in their basement for 6, 7, 8 hours a day on the computer, sitting there playing video games on Reddit, right? Would you consider that person awesome? Right? Would you consider that person being able to share with you something that can better the world? That's what I'm talking about here. The world needs to become better, right? It needs to be better. If I am an awesome man, an awesome woman, then I am able to better the world. That's what I mean. Awesome correlating with sharing to make this a better world, to make people better off that come in contact with me. Okay? What do you have to share? That's the question. What experiences do you have? What do you have in here? What do you have here to share? Okay? So the world needs more awesome people. And let me tell you right now, guys, it's fucking hard to be awesome. I am not awesome. Okay? The majority of people are not awesome. There's not, we may see glimpses, right? We may see certain people that we're like, oh, they're awesome. But, you know, the majority of people are not awesome. They're not sharing. They do not have the 4 pillars built. Okay? They have not put the work in. And this is my standard of awesome. You guys, if you do not agree with this, that is completely fine. But this is what I believe. This is what I want for myself. I want the 4 pillars. I want to be able to share to make this world a better place. I want people that come in contact with me to get something, that I raise their value, that I bring them up. Okay? Now, it's hard to be awesome. It's very difficult to be awesome. Now, picture this, okay? Picture this. We've got this huge mountain, alright? Or cliff, this huge rock, okay? And we've got all these people. We got all these people at the bottom looking up. At this cliff. Now I'm going to call this cliff. And I don't like how this cliff looks. We're going to call this cliff. The opportunity to be, that's the cliff's name. Okay. Now, I'm not awesome. I don't know how you guys feel about yourself, but I know for certain, okay, that I'm climbing. Maybe we're not at the top. Let's consider the top, the 4 pillars. The awesome man here's a flag, and we have awesome. We have the 4 pillars. health, wealth, love, and happiness at the top of this, and I'm not there yet. But at least I'm climbing. And look at all these bystanders. Look at all these people, these zombies, okay, that are just caught up in this trance, okay, that have this mountain to climb, that have the opportunity to be, to share with their fellow man, to change the world, to help, to love, to develop these 4 pillars, to live a life of fulfillment. Happiness is up here, guys. It's a long way up here. And we're in a trance down here. But not all of us. Most people are in this trance down here, staring at the opportunity to be one of the tallest mountains you'll ever face in your life. And we may not be at the top, but for certain I can say, at least I'm climbing. And I don't know how high up I am, okay? And man, I'm hanging on. I'm hanging on by a thread. And, you know, I'm looking at all the people. There's one dude up here. There's one guy, man, he's chilling out here. He's taking a break. He's in his little hammock. And he's like trying to shout advice but I'm like, dude, I don't want your advice. I want to learn from like this guy who's up here, or maybe this guy, you know, who's about to grab that flag. Okay, I want to learn from this guy's trying to, yeah, good for you, man. Keep climbing, all right? Let's keep climbing. These guys, I can't even associate with them anymore. They haven't even stepped up to this mountain. They're afraid of the mountain. They don't even know the mountain's there, man, right? They're looking over here to this fucking little sinkhole where they have the weekend. This is the weekend. All right, that's the weekend. That's partying. That's watching TV every day. That's the newest episode of whatever these guys are watching. I don't even know what they're watching, dude, because I'm up here trying to hang on. Like, shit, the wind's really tough up here. I need some rope. One of these guys asking me to throw some rope down. I'm like, dude, I don't even see the top yet. I need all the rope that I can get. Okay? I don't got rope for you. Get your own damn rope. Then start climbing the opportunity to be. But at least I'm climbing. Okay? I invite you guys, realize the mountain. Start the climb. Many of you are on this climb. Keep going, guys. Keep going. It is by sharing, by this generosity, by developing these 4 bars. Okay? By becoming something that the world needs. By developing your skills. The intangibles, the tangibles. By growing. By making this climb. And we leave humanity behind then. Sayonara, folks. Alright, this mountain. You ain't climbing this mountain, get on out. I'm not hanging out with you. I'm not wasting time. Okay? Because, yeah, there ain't no time to waste on the opportunity to be. There's no time to waste, man. Okay? Because on top of that, this fucking thing is fucking crumbling. Not even crumbling. Yeah, it's splitting. It's splitting. This whole thing's cracking. Alright, there's cracks. There's an earthquake down here. It's a level 8 earthquake down here, man. Okay, this thing is cracking. Look at this. It's going to shatter. Man, I need to be telling him, climb quicker. Climb quicker. Vacuum knowledge. Vacuum knowledge, man. Stop sitting there and dabbling. Right? Stop sitting there. Your life is running out. Stop dabbling. Keep climbing. Keep yelling to these guys. I don't got good reception in the mountains, but goddamn, man, yell louder. Listen. Okay, more listening. Okay, enough listening to these guys. They got nothing good to say. They'll just talk your ear off. Listen. And keep climbing. Because when we reach the top, and we may find that we get love at this level, that we get wealth at this level, that we get health at this level, and hopefully, like, I think about it, I'm glad that I have my health now, so that, man, because once you get wealthy, then sure you can get health, but like, you can hire a personal trainer, but God, man, it's so much better to go along the journey. It's a lot easier to make this climb when you got health. And then you may come across meaning, fulfillment. But it's through the climb that we get here. Okay? Take that in, guys. Think about that. Think about your own life. Where are you in the 4 pillars? Health, wealth, love, and happiness. How generous can you be? And how willing to accept generosity are you? How much do you have to share with the world? And are you awesome? Because I want to be really awesome. I want you guys to be really freaking awesome. Because these guys aren't awesome. See you guys soon.